This wind is wild. All right, I got a break between the wind. Gentlemen, and the now more than one lady, but one Uzbekistanian who might see this video, welcome back to the channel. Guys, before we get into the video today, which is gonna be a fun one, I am gonna ask you guys to go ahead and support the channel. We have been pacing along, we're picking up steam, the channel is growing, so if you guys do end up liking the video, go ahead and like this video. If you guys do wanna subscribe and see what we have coming, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. And if you are new here, go ahead and check out the channel. Depending on who you are, we have some stuff that you'll really like or that will make you really mad. And if that's the latter, I am sorry. The thing that I like the most is comments. I really love seeing comments. Go ahead, make that comment section wild. It gives me a chance to respond to you guys, see what type of content you guys want to see, and just get that input from you guys. And comments give me proof to my therapist that I'm not talking to voices again, so I really, really appreciate it, guys. But without further ado, let's get into today's video. So, a little over a week ago now, towards the end of March, start of April, happy Easter, by the way, I was going through crunching the numbers on the budget, right? And I realized that I have a little bit more spending money left over than I normally do for the month. And you know, I sat there and made a really wise financial decision of, instead of putting that into my high yield savings account, to go ahead and spend some money on archery gear on Amazon. So that is what we did. Today we are going to be reviewing some archery gear from Amazon. So I'm going to go ahead and break down what I got, and I am very excited for this. Actually, I've put together this gear and I was like a kid in a candy shop. I cannot wait to shoot this stuff. I have tried to keep myself from using it at all. And I'll just get right into it because it's gonna be good. Okay, so you guys know that we are doing the giveaway for the 1 dozen Easton Axis arrows. That video still needs to hit its like count, by the way, so go ahead and like that video. I could give away Easton Axis, or I could give away these ACC MOS 340 244 arrows here. Now, these bad boys, I think these are like $34 a dozen. These things are capped off with nothing but the finest of the generic, the brand is seriously called generic, 50 grain copper inserts. So you think Easton is the cutting edge with brass, generic is using copper. They're ahead of the game. And then leading this thing with the field point here is the Yes EJE 100 grain stainless steel field point, which I'm going to be totally honest, I have gotten field points off of Amazon before. You know, I like the look of stainless steel points. A lot of guys anyways are shooting like the Bass Pro points or the Shields points. You know, those can't be too much better than some stainless steel points off of Amazon, and I have never ran into any issues. So I'll go ahead and admit to that. But on the back end of the arrow here, we have the SOP 244 Nox. These things, again, very cheap on Amazon. And the fletchings, I did kind of cheat. I got these off of Lancaster Archery, but they had a clearance sale. It was like $7 for 100 pack. So I got 3 of them. I just kind of like the look of it. It's a little circus arrow here. You got the pink, yellow, and green, all fluorescent. And you know, it just, the silly fletchings kind of seemed fitting for an Amazon arrow build. So the more that I look at this arrow, the more I want to make this my 3D setup. So I'm gonna go ahead and just call this a target arrow. Gonna be pretty good, but every target arrow needs its target stabilizer. And that is where our next archery product comes into play. So after doing my due diligence on Amazon, I searched around for a target stabilizer, and this is what I found. This is the SAS, the Southland Archery Supply target stabilizer. It is the Carbon X Pro stabilizer. You could have this stabilizer in your hand for about $50 off of Amazon. I'll go ahead and put pictures up for everything here as well in the video, but this thing is really going to complete the vibes of this Amazon target build. We're just going to go ahead, throw it on the Omnia here. I'm going to keep the back bar the same, but this bad boy is going to be my front bar. So enough yapping. Let's go ahead, throw this stuff on the bow, and then I will talk about kind of my thoughts on this arrow build, but where I do think there might be a place for this in the archery world. So let's get right into it. We'll be good to go. All right, we are at 30 yards on the hat trick down there, the turkey, hog, and deer. it is windy. I don't know if you guys can tell, but very windy. Also, this stabilizer, it's gonna be hard to tell, but like it's on the ground right now and I can bounce my bow on it. It is very, very shaky, not stiff at all. So we'll see how this goes. Yeah, I should mention, these things are sub 400 grains. I think these things are like 375 grains. So ultralight arrow build. If you guys are wanting to stick it to Ranch Fairy, I'll tell you, ACC MOS might be the arrow brand for you. But let's get a couple arrows downrange, see how it goes. I'm gonna start off with the deer. Woo! Oh, this branch is literally getting in my way when I aim because of the wind. Okay, not that bad. Let's put another arrow downrange. Hit it a little high, so I'm gonna bump my sight tape up a little bit. Let's go for it again. Ooh. I'll just say the wind took that one. I've shot very little with target stabilizers in the past, and I don't remember there being as much shake when I get to full draw with the other ones. So I do think that the flaccidness of this stabilizer definitely could be hurting you more than it helps you when you get to full draw. There we go. Ranch Fairy's mad at me after that shot. Oh, it hit him in the shoulder blade. That arrow's bouncing off his shoulder blade and coming to spank me since it's sub 500 grains. A tree just fell. There you go. All right, let's go pull arrows. I'll do another video here and we'll be good to go. Okay, the wind is getting just a little bit too crazy, to shoot in. So we're gonna go ahead and put a couple arrows into the big target at 48 here. We're just gonna do 6 arrows. I have a target pin down there. We'll see how they all group up. And then I'm gonna take it inside and finish up the conversation. Honestly, when I was cutting these things and setting them up, I was pretty surprised with how straight they were. And they're flying pretty well. Like, there's not a whole lot of spine inconsistencies you would think there would be. Now, if I threw a broadhead on there, that very well might be a different story. And of course, as soon as I make plans to go inside because of the wind almost dies down completely. I love how that works. Ooh. Pulled that one just a little bit right. There we go. Just a little low. All right, the wind is starting to pick back up, so I'm gonna go ahead, pull the arrows, pack up here real quick, head inside, and we'll cap off the video. Okay, we are out of the wind. Let's talk about my thoughts on these archery products. I'm gonna go ahead and rip the Band-Aid off with the stabilizer first. I don't like it. It's not as stiff as a target stabilizer should be. On some of those shots where the wind was blowing and I was trying to stay on target, I could feel that stabilizer shaking and kind of working against me almost when I was trying to hold on the target. Once you get on target and once it's not windy and once you can really kind of hold on target, it's not that bad. And at the end of the day, any target stabilizer is going to have that effect of like, well, once you get where you're aiming and you're in great conditions, it's gonna aim well. Really, once you get into the higher end stuff, you're paying for the lightweight rods and just overall quality. But yeah, once you make this thing do its job, it does its job, kinda. But yeah, this thing is like the goth barista at Starbucks with a liberal arts degree. Once you make it do its job, it does it kinda good, but not super good. And it probably complains about it behind your back while you're doing it. So that's enough on the stabilizer. Let's get into the arrows. Okay, so for the arrows, guys, I'm not gonna lie, these things are pretty slick. I wanna hate these so much, and I want to be able to just kind of clown on them because they're arrows off of Amazon. But for what they are and for how straight they are, which I didn't get videos when I was building them of how well these things spun, for the build quality on these things are pretty slick. I would probably switch out the nock. I was nervous the whole time shooting these cheap nocks out of my bow, just because nocks are very, very important. There's a lot of technology that goes into nocks, not only to make them accurate and dependable, but to make them strong enough to support all that pressure. Because if you don't have a strong nock and it breaks, you're basically gonna dry fire your bow. So that's why I was nervous shooting these things. I would rather not dry fire my Omnia. That just wouldn't be fun. I don't think that ever would be fun. But one thing that I will say that I was thinking of when I was shooting these arrows, and especially now after seeing how well they performed, is that a lot of arrow companies that are like name brand arrow companies, their carbon is not made in the United States. It's pretty big. There's really, Easton is the only brand that makes their carbon in the United States, I believe. Other than that, I think Victory has theirs in Mexico, but a lot of carbon is shipped over from China, in all honesty. So I would not be surprised if this arrow came from the same factory of a couple probably name brand arrows. And for the price factor, you know, a situation I could see someone using these in would be if you are just getting into archery and you want some arrows and it's your first batch and you want to do it yourself, or you just want to get arrow shafts and you just don't have a whole lot of money to spend, which is absolutely understandable. If these arrows are the thing that is keeping you from getting into archery and not, do not listen to any grumpy person who is going to tell you that you are an idiot for shooting arrows from Amazon. If it gets you shooting a bow, it is the absolute right choice, because while somebody is hating on a arrow shaft from China, they're most likely typing it on a phone from China or on a keyboard from China into a Wi-Fi router from China, going out into tons of other products made from China. In all honesty, I really think that you should shoot for American made, realistically American owned companies, because in all reality, when you support American owned companies, they eventually can turn into American made companies. So I definitely think that you should have a goal down the road to switch over to a different arrow company. But if you need to get some arrows off of Amazon that are cheap and are inexpensive, and you can build 2 dozen arrows for under the price of a dozen of the probably cheaper arrows that you can get at Bass Pro, then guess what? The brand name ACCMOS shouldn't scare you. You should definitely pick these up if you are in that situation. And if that's not you, this is just kind of a fun arrow build to have. I mean, you got to have an Amazon arrow build just for the fun of it. So that kind of concludes my thoughts on these products off of Amazon. That wraps up the video today. If you guys did like the video, go ahead, like. If you guys want to stick around for more, like I said, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and leave a comment down below on what you think I should do next. If you want me to review some more products off of Amazon, please tell me. This video is pretty fun. In the meantime, you guys have an absolutely blessed day. I'm so thankful for all the support that you guys give me. So thankful for this channel, and I'm so thankful to bring you guys another video. So you guys have a great one. We'll see you next time.